welcome back with a smiling face. Taming the Ruthless Alpha. Episode 3. Chapter 20. Livy. 3 months later, my days in the Dark Moon Pack began to get busy, very busy. I did most of my studying in the library, but when it got too chaotic, I would retreat to my room. If I didn't need to be present for a virtual class or be in the presence of the professor, I kept to myself when studying, but I began to partake here and there with small stuff around the pack. There was so much to learn. So much history. But I loved every bit of it. I see why Molly said Ricky was a big nerd. He loved reading about our pack's history. The more I read, the more I got to know every one of our past members, and they left so much to teach us. Most days around lunch, Ricky wrapped things up in his office and did paperwork next to me in the room while I studied, until it was close to dinner. We had our personal time, and by that, I mean it got freaky in our room. Then we'd shower and get ready to join everyone in the dining room. The week after his dad had come back and found out I was studying the pack's lineage, he was over the moon. He told me stories and legends of their past and would randomly quiz me. He was an amazing person. He's so smart. He's even teaching me how to speak Old Latin. Ricky still translates for me, but I've managed to catch on to a few words. But the best part is that many teenagers have seen my interest in learning the language, and they have now begun studying it as well. I'm impressed and touched that they have taken an interest in the heritage of their pack. One thing was odd, though. Lucian began to ask me about my family when I told him my last name was Watson. Nothing odd about that, right? But since then he began acting a bit strange around me. Not in a bad way, but, still. He would stare at me, and his eyes would darken. It was like he was either mind-linking his wolf, or maybe someone else. Besides that, I am so grateful for my new pack and my new life. Everyone in here is incredible, especially Alaric. He kept to his promise, as did I. I have successfully gained weight, so, I began training a few weeks ago. I won't lie to you, Zane and Alaric are not making it easy on me. They give me a run for my money, and they have put me up against professionally trained girls to train to fight. By professional, I mean these girls are the ones that train the trainers that the Wolf King has in his kingdom where all the other alphas and leaders of their packs go to train. Weird, hey? But yes, the king uses Alaric and Caden's men and women to train his people. And from what I have learned, when there is a mission even they don't dare to do, either Alaric or Caden takes over those cases. It makes me worried because I have seen how Alaric has come home hurt when he says he needs to go on a mission suddenly. He comes back with cuts and bruises still unhealed. I broke down the first time, and I stayed up all night healing his wounds with the first aid kit. What makes me more worried, is that he thinks that the Rogue King is planning on invading Skyla's pack again. And if that happens, I know Alaric will have to be there to fight again. I can proudly say, I have gotten kicked more times than I can imagine, and I am just in my second week of training. Am I going to give up? No. I am just starting. On top of that, it was almost my mom's death anniversary and the last time I saw my brother. This time of year always makes me feel so melancholic. I hate it. But I don't know how to tell Ricky. I've always dealt with this on my own, burying myself in work, cleaning until late hours in the kitchen when I was still part of the Silver Moon Pack. I don't know how to talk about this. All I know is that this time of year is always hard for me. That's why I have been training harder. I began training for 2 hours at first, and have now become training for 4 hours, sometimes more. It leaves me tired and sore, but I don't care. For one, if the Rogue King dares to attack again, I will make sure I am there to fight too. 2. I am tired of feeling vulnerable. Alaric and the pack see my potential. It's time I show it off and prove it to myself. Alaric again, I say time and time again, each time I see Livy fall flat on her or get knocked down time and time again. She grunts, curses, and yells from the top of her lungs in frustration, but she doesn't give up. The female warriors we have are professionals, and they have never been known to be easy on newcomers, and Livy is no exception. On the contrary, they have been harder on her, knocking her off her feet and even hurting her. And they have my permission. Why? Because I want Livy to understand that in the middle of a real fight, the first zero any they will try to knock down is the Alpha and his Luna. Without their leaders, the pack is vulnerable and will be easier to take over under submission to a new Alpha. I have seen it happen to a few packs in the past. It almost happened to mine when they attacked us and they killed my mother, and it nearly happened again when I had just taken over as Alpha. I'll be stupid if I ever let that happen again. For that reason, I need to make sure that Livy learns to fight to the death, if necessary. Rogues will not care nor think twice about hurting her in my presence, let alone in my absence. The female warrior sweeps her under her feet, and kicks Livy on her ribs, making her fall on her side, making her body slide across the dirt floor. Livy says, getting up frustrated. Again, she growls, yelling at the warrior. But the girl looks at me for authorization and I grunt, pinching the curve of my nose. It's been a long day, the sun is starting to set. Livy has learned so much, and I am so proud of her, but she loses focus when she's had too much or she's too frustrated. Something must be bothering her, and I need to find out what. That's all for today. You girls can go. Get some rest and I will see you for dinner. No. I can keep going. I can do a few more rounds, she says, grabbing her stick and getting into a defense position. Go, I warn the girls, and they nod in submission, bowing to their Luna, and walk away. Rick, she yells, making me growl. Enough, Livy. What is happening? You're losing focus. You are getting really good, sweetheart. And you started off really good today, but you're suddenly losing focus. Is this because of your mom's death anniversary coming up? I say, making her eyes widen in shock. How did you? I told you. I know everything about you, baby. I say, pulling her by the waist, kissing her forehead, and resting her head on my chest. Ricky. I'm sorry. I should have stayed focused. I need to do my best. What if you need me next time? I can't. I hate seeing you come home with bruises and cuts from other wolves. You have huge scars all over your chest and back, in your arms. I don't want to lose you too, Ricky. She breaks down, hugging me tightly around my waist and sobbing silently. Babe, you will never lose me. I'm here for you. And I know you worry, but that's part of my job, to protect you and this pack. I promise nothing will ever happen to me. Okay. I reassure her, making her tighten her hold around me. The truth is, I almost didn't make it last time. We were ambushed. It was a setup by the Rogue King. He was going after Morrison again, and we intervened. Most werewolves use only their fighting skills and wolf strength. But over the years, rogues have begun to use weapons as well. I had to allow my pack to use weapons for their protection and made sure to train them skillfully to use them. The Rogue King knows it, which is why he has done the same. When we confronted a few weeks ago, he slashed me really good across my chest, warning me to stay out of his business. I bled a lot, and Black agonized because he had dipped his knife in wolfsbane, again. Unlike most wolves, wolfsbane will not kill us, but it still hurts like a mother. And it slows our healing process, which is why I was still badly hurt when I arrived back in our pack. Livy was so mad at me, cursing under her breath and yelling at me to tell the Wolf King to settle his own business. She has no idea that the mission had nothing to do with the king, but rather with Morrison and the Rogue King. Sadly, the ones stuck in the middle are Skyla's pack and my people. I need to make sure he gets trained properly and his people get serious about protecting their pack. What worries me is that I know the Rogue King will return soon. He's not done. I know he's not. The last thing I heard that he say was that he was coming back, and this time wanted me out of the way or he'd make sure to move me out of the way for good. I have no idea what Morrison did to him, but I know it's not good. I drag Livy back to our room and we freshen up to join our pack in the dining room. By the time we arrive, everyone is already there waiting on us. We sit next to my dad, Zane, and Margot. I give the signal to the girls to start serving and my eyes widen happily once dessert comes by. One of the girls brings a big piece of chocolate cake in front of me with a cup of freshly brewed coffee making Black happy inside. I hope you don't mind, but I took some time earlier in the day from studying to join the girls in the kitchen. I made chocolate cake and cupcakes for everyone. Try it, it's really good. It's my mom's recipe, Livy says with watery eyes. Dad cups her face, giving her a bright smile. Pula, te ipsum vicisti. Sweetheart, you have outdone yourself, he says, making her smile. Gratias tibi, Papa. Thank you, Papa, she replies, making my smile widen. It's only a small thank you for everything all of you do. I am so grateful for every one of you, she adds, smiling with teary eyes. I know at first, I was mad, angry that my sister Molly had found her mate and I hadn't. I thought it was a sick joke from our goddess for not giving me one, but she had. I just had to wait to find her. And boy did she give me the best mate possible. Livy is not just a great mate, but the best Luna we could have ever had. I'm starting to fall deeper in love with her. Don't get me wrong, I've loved her from the moment I laid eyes on her, but every day I fall deeper for her. And I won't let anything bad ever happen to her. Not as long as I live. Third-person POV. It's been weeks since the last rogue attack they had in the Silver Moon Pack and they were yet to recover from it. Skyla was working really hard to rebuild their walls. This time, the Rogue King and his pack hadn't just knocked down the cemented walls but had somehow managed to break through the electric fence Skyla had set up. Maybe he thought. Maybe, Alaric was right, I don't just need to reinforce my walls around our territory, but I badly need to train everyone. He's had his eyes on Alaric's guards for the past few days. He admired the fact they are up before sunrise, running and practicing amongst themselves while the warriors from his pack and guards can't even wake up before 7 in the morning. It angered him to see that the men he would assign for the night to supposedly keep the post at night would fall asleep and the ones staying awake watching the perimeters were always Alaric's men. He once admired his pack, making them out as tough and untouchables. But the more he opened his eyes, the more he was becoming angered. The deception of reality was vastly sinking in. How could he ever afford to confront the rogue king without Alaric's help? Alaric had given him 2 more months to prove to him that he could train his men and make them into top warriors, but how could he if even his Luna was not taking her job seriously? She was too preoccupied to keep her image by shopping and eating in fancy restaurants with her friends to show off to other Luna. She had completely disregarded her work in the pack, leaving it up to Skyla to carry all the weight and responsibilities. The pack was chaos and was just now taking note of it. The guards and warriors were badly trained, his Luna was out of control, and to make matters worse, the king had threatened to be back again. It was only a matter of time before that happened. Why? Why did the rogue king want his dad so badly? Meanwhile, his Luna, Leah drives down to a new cafe just downtown in the neighboring town. She had overheard that the Lunas of the other packs loved coming to brunch and would sit together. She wanted to badly show off her new Louboutin red pumps with a matching purse. She had begged Skyla for nearly 3 weeks until he finally caved in to buy them, and she was not going to waste time showing them off. If there was one thing she was good at, it was exhibiting herself in front of competing Lunas. For Leah, it was not about who was doing the best job at taking care of their pack work or taking care of Luna's duties, it was about which Luna was better dressed. Who wore the most expensive shoes and drove the fanciest car, or wore the latest dress. If she had to, she'd get on her knees and beg for her closet to have the latest brands, even if it meant cutting the budget elsewhere. She happily parks her car and grabs her purse, flipping her hair as she makes her way with her friends inside. The other Lunas sit together at a far-end table with their friends enjoying their gossiping. "Hello, ladies," she greets, giving each a kiss with a big smile. "I'm serious. I heard it loud and clear, the Dark Moon Pack finally has a Luna," one of the Lunas says, making the other girls gasp in shock. "No way. I wonder why he hasn't announced it yet, though. Why would he keep it from everyone? Do we know who she is? We haven't heard about it from the council either." "Are you sure this is true?" another adds, making them think twice. Leah takes a seat next to her and wonders if what she just heard is real. "Wait, what is this about Alaric finding a Luna?" she asks, making them look at her in disbelief at using his first name so casually. "Alaric," one of the Luna asks. "You use his first name, are you that familiar with him?" she adds, making Leah give a smug smile, flipping her hair. "Well, if you must know. Ricky has been protecting our pack since Sky took over. He's practically family now," she says, making the girls gasp in shock. "Anyway, as I was saying, I heard he found his Luna. But it could be that they were bluffing. What do you guys think? I think it's possible. He seems different. More manly, don't you think?" Luna says, making the girls fan themselves admiring Alaric. Me too. I heard about it from our beta's mate. She says she heard Margot talking to Luna Molly about it during breakfast this morning in college. Luna from another pack replied, making the other girls gasp. Leah was distraught. She had specifically ordered Anna to notify her of anything weird in that pack, yet she hasn't heard anything from her. Her best bet was that the rumors were true and Alaric had sent them to work in the slumps as the slaves they were destined to be. She smiled in joy at the thought of Livy working hard and being mistreated by the Dark Moon pack. It filled her with joy to think even Alaric's new mate and Luna could be doing her the favor of mistreating Olivia like she used to. If only she knew the truth. Did they say who she was? Who is she? What pack did she come from? The first Luna who talked asked. No. No one knows her name or what pack she's from. I bet she's from his own pack. Maybe she just turned of age and didn't know. I mean his pack is enormous, plus their pack is very secretive. All I know is what I heard. All I know is that in the university they overheard Margot and Molly say they were in a hurry to leave because they were going to accompany their Luna to go shopping for new clothes, she says as if it was a grand announcement. My goddess! Can you imagine all the clothes and expensive shoes she must be getting? Right? I mean, I heard she only wears Manolo Blahnik and Gucci. I heard her father-in-law gifted her shoes worth nearly $500,000, they said. Obviously now they were just exaggerating and making things up. But they weren't far from the truth. Alaric was making sure Livy had the best of the best. Everyone gasped in shock. Leah had no clue who this new Dark Moon Luna was, but she felt envious of her. If only she could afford a pair of Manolo Blahnik shoes. Leah, I went back to my pack house seeing red. I was more than furious. Alpha Rick has been coming to our aid for the past few months and we even invited him to stay for dinner the last time. I thought he was being rude when he'd refuse our offer. Did he think he was better than us? We are just as highly ranked as he is, so what gives? Why did he keep refusing our offer to stay and have dinner? But now I know. It's his Luna. It has to be. What else, right? Meanwhile, I walk back to my room, tired of walking with these shoes that are giving me a callus on the back of my heel. It hurt so bad. Soon as I made it into my room, I took them off and threw them in the closet. I was tired of all this. I deserve better. I deserve Manolo Blahnik's shoes. Why is Skyla so cheap? He said we were a king and good money, so why did he refuse to buy them for me? I had to settle for a pair of Louboutin shoes. To make matters worse, the women in the kitchen keep calling my phone. Why are they calling me? They act like I work there, seriously. Being a Luna is such hard work. I hate it. I feel so drained, all I want is to take a nice hot bubble bath and go to sleep. But I was hungry too. The kitchen better have some food ready. I am starving. I changed into comfier clothes, placed my slippers on, took my hair up into a bun, and made my way downstairs. There was chaos in the kitchen as the women argued and ran around. What is going on in here? I demanded to know, getting them all to stop and look down to the floor. They know better than to make eye contact with me. They were all muted, making my irritation grow. Well, what is going on? Someone answer me! I demanded, looking between all of them. The lead Onyega steps forward and looks at me for a second before looking to the floor again. Luna, the Omegas you sent to get groceries today. They were ambushed, ma'am. The Rogue King stole all of the groceries they had purchased. So we have no meat. They took everything, what? I asked, angrily. Could they be any stupider? Why didn't anyone call me? Where is Skyla? We tried calling many times, Luna, but it kept sending us to voicemail. We told Alpha, but he hasn't returned from work yet. He said he was busy rebuilding the perimeters and for us to call you to deal with it, she replied, making me cringe. What exactly is so important about that wall, that he can't get away for a while or get some men to go buy more meat for dinner? This is ridiculous. Does anyone do anything around here? Goddess, I whispered the last part. This is why we needed Olivia, Leah. I hate to tell you, but the mutt was essential. We could have sent her to fetch necessities like this in this kind of situation. But my son and you had to let go of her, didn't you? My father-in-law says by the door, making me groan inwardly. He has done nothing but causes trouble since the day Skyker became the new alpha. Well, she's not here anymore, is she, Noah? Now how about you make yourself useful and go fetch that meat yourself? Unless you want to be stuck eating nothing but, I say as I glance over at the pits of food already boiling in the pots. Whatever this is, I add as I look disgustingly at the food they are making. I had to give it to the mutt. She was a bother and all in this pack, but she was handy, and she gave the extra touch to make the food a decent taste. The food has been horrible since she left. It either comes out too salty, or too bland. No. That's your job now, Leah. You're the Luna now, remember? And if you haven't noticed, the Luna title comes with obligations, not only entitlements. So, get to it. Before you really piss off Skyla and he gets rid of you as well, he says, making me growl in anger. He strides away, chuckling and not giving a damn. The food tastes like shit now, Leah. All thanks to you and Sky, he yells from behind as he slams the front door. I look irritatingly at the Omegas and their incompetence. I'm sorry, Luna. We have followed all the recipes the same way as we have, but... It's just she pauses, looking between the other Omegas. I was starting to lose my patience with these women, and if they don't talk any faster, I will send all of them to the dungeon and have them punished. Even if it meant getting takeout for a few days for Sky and me. The rest of the pack will just have to stop freeloading off of us and deal with it. Just what? Spill it already, I don't have all day. Olivia did her own spice mixes, Luna. And... well, we ran out. She does new matches once it's down to about a quarter left on the jars, but, she's been gone a few months and well, we ran out. I rolled my eyes and groaned inwardly. This has got to be the most ridiculous excuse I have ever heard. Then make your own. It can't be that hard to mix the spices and cook a decent meal. I yelled at them, making a few jumps in place. I'm sure they were crying by now, but I could care less. Leah, one of my friends, calls out happily, making me close my eyes in anger. What? I answered, making her take a step back. Wow, girl. Relax. I have good news, she says, and I cut her off holding my hand out, _not now, Evelyn. I'm busy. Well, get in busy, because I just found out where Alpha Rix Luna is going shopping, and if we don't get going now, we will miss her, she says, making my mood change. This was good, this was awesome news. I looked at the girls with a warning look and then turned to my friend and smiled. Lead the way. As for you, I said, glaring at the Omegas. Solve this spice. And tell Cole to go get more meat. When I get back I want dinner ready to be served. Understood. I yelled out, making one of the Omegas cry. And shut up, will you? Grow a backbone. I said, making Evelyn laugh. We made our way out to the car and punched in the address to the shopping center where my new favorite person was going to be. After almost 45 minutes of driving, we finally came up to this expensive couture store. We parked and made our way in. I glanced everywhere, but nothing. Keep your eyes opened, I said, looking toward the private dressing rooms. The place reeked of humans. Dumb humans who think they're entitled because they have money. I scoff at the stupid girls shopping in here, giving Evelyn a dirty look as they eye her from head to toe. The perks of being a she-wolf, we are so good looking. Leah, PSST, this way, she yells, bringing me out of my trance. She's right by a private room and I stride her way. We make it close to the room, and I can barely see inside. I can see Luna Molly and a dirty blonde girl with her, sitting together as they talk and laugh, but I can't beat what they're saying. That's Margot. She's mated to Alpha Rix Beta. Evelyn tells me, making me nod. Come on, babes. Let's see it, they yell out, and my heart starts pounding in my ear as the commotion gets the best of me. I see a silhouette come out. She has nice firm legs, a toned stomach, and a beautiful hourglass-shaped body. I can tell she works out. She must be really tough. Someone you definitely want to have on your side in the middle of a fight. But I can't see her face. I get closer, hoping to see her face. Luna Molly and Margot hoot and whistle, making her give a turn. But then two guards cone in front of us, stopping me from seeing any further. I apologize, ma'am, but this is a private room. I am going to ask you to exit, please. I can tell that they are werewolves by their scent, making me growl. But I obey. The last I want is to piss her off and go tell Alpha Rick that I was eavesdropping. I hate to admit it, but even if I didn't see her face, I know she's beautiful. She is someone I can surely invest my time in making her my friend. Forget befriending the other Lunas, I have to meet Alpha Rix Luna and ask her to be my new friend. This will surely secure our status in the werewolf elite group. And that dress, my goddess! I want that dress! She had a long strapless black gown with a high slit on the front side of her left leg. The top was like a corset, and it was a bit cut lower in the middle, showing off her cleavage. The corset accentuated her curves. I can only imagine how pretty she was. And why wouldn't she be? Alpha Rick was not just rich and powerful, but one of the hottest men I have ever met. She was worthy of a hot, rich, and powerful alpha like him. It was no wonder my friend Evelyn was disappointed to find out he had found his Luna. I am disappointed that I have to leave though, but I definitely have to find a way to meet her in person and introduce myself to her. Livy, earlier that morning, I was just about done helping the girls clean the kitchen after the breakfast rush. It gets pretty hectic as everyone scrambles to get to their places. We get so many of our members in here, from doctors to lawyers, students ranging from preschool to high school, and even college. We have our warriors who have a massive appetite, just like Alaric. It surprises me how much he can eat and still look so hot and toned. But, at the same time, it gets pretty H4CTIC in here. My God, I love this kitchen. It's huge, with a total of 6 industrial stoves to cook, along with flat tops, ovens, and so much pantry space. Literally my dream kitchen. Unlike the pack house at Silver Moon, where we only had 2 regular refrigerators, Dark Moon has walk-in refrigerators and a freezer. We have regular refrigerators, for smaller stuff, but the walk-ins are so cool. A few nights ago, I made a burger for Alaric, but I seasoned the patty with my own mix of spices and he loved it. The funny thing is, that Zane took the burger from him and took a bite, as did Margot. And now the girls in the kitchen are begging me to make more of that season mix since I only made a tiny bit. They had used it to season their fries while we tended to all the cleaning and used up the rest of the seasoning. I don't mind, I have the recipe down by heart. So, I am making a huge batch that fits into a 5-gallon tub. I mixed the spices real good, tossed them into the clean gallon, and closed the lid real tight. The lead cook looks at it, nodding in satisfaction, and says, "Thank you, Luna. That should hold us for about a month or so." I began to laugh, but honestly, she might be right. The pack house's kitchen never stops from opening hours of 6 a.m. to midnight. The girls are always busy, but I am so comfortable with their procedures. Every week we get new crews coming in. The only ones that are permanent workers here are 3 Omegas, and they take care of all the girls that come to work. It's never the same girls. The whole pack takes turns working in the kitchen, but they love it. Plus, it serves them, because Alaric pays them to come and work in the kitchen. They sometimes come when it's not their turn and beg the lead Omega to let them work an extra short when they need a bit of extra money for personal things. Alaric has made sure that every girl has an account with the bank, this way, their money gets directly deposited in their account when they are done working. I love that. I doubt this would ever happen in Silver Moon. We never got paid, it was an obligation to us to tend to the pack because we were considered, well, slaves. And nothing more. Olivia? Are you in here? I heard a familiar voice call from the door, making me turn with a smile plastered on my lips. I'm in here. Come in, Margot. I replied. Hey, so, Zane just told me that Rick wants Molly and me to take you out shopping today. So, I have to take a test, but I will be back in I'd say, 4 hours, she says, making the Omega smile. Wait. What? Why? I already have a lot of clothes, it's okay. I don't need it. I said, making both chuckles. Well, you'll need a fancy dress for your ceremony in 3 weeks, silly. So be ready. Molly will be by to help you get ready, I will meet you guys there, she says, making me feel dumbfounded. I wanted to protest, but it was true. In 3 weeks, I will be officially named the Luna of the Dark Moon Pack. It's not a huge ceremony, I hope, but Alaric wants to celebrate anyway. I know for a fact Molly and her pack will be joining us, and so are the Crescent Moon and the Blood Moon packs, but I am not sure who else will be coming. I mean, not even for his alpha ceremony were the doors to the pack opened, other than for the Primords, where Molly is from. But he wants to go all out for me, and that makes me feel so many things. I am falling so in love with Alaric, it's no joke. I am not sure about all the shopping though, but I guess it could be fun. I went about my business, helping out in the kitchen and doing some of my studying. After studying for a few hours, I helped at our nursery for an hour, helping them restock and changed some of the babies, while the mamas worked elsewhere. Goddess, is it bad that I am starting to want to have a pup of my own? I wonder if Alaric would be okay with having babies with me. Freya has been extra clingy with Black too. Every day after practicing with the warriors, Alaric and I shift onto our wolves and we let them spend time together. Freya has been clingy with Black and sometimes refuses to shift back until we have to come back and get ready for dinner. They are so attached and love each other so much. I can feel how much Black loves her, and I know Freya loves him too. They have both become so invested in us, that I'm scared that this could all end. What if he falls for someone else and rejects me too? Even if we are fully mated, I know it can happen. I've heard it's happened to other Lunas. They've had to live with their alpha mate, and their chosen mate as a third wheel, because their alpha refuses to reject them. What if that were to happen to me? How can I ever live with Alaric if he had someone else, and refused to reject me? I love him so much. I don't want to share him with another woman or lose him. After I helped in a few more areas, I decided to shower and get ready. Molly was already here by the time I was out of the shower. Alaric came by to give me his card and bid us goodbye, but not before he smothered me with kisses. I won't lie, it's those little moments when I want to kick myself for my previous thoughts. I hope our relationship lasts an eternity because I don't want to be with anyone else ever, but him. We made our way to a really pretty store and joined Margot. We shopped for a while for essentials, including new lotions, and personal stuff. We then went to more stores, until we came up to this fancier store. We were guided to a private room where we were given drinks and appetizers. They treated us like royalty, and it honestly felt so good to be treated like this for the first time. But my eyes hung on this cute black dress, with a high slit on the left thigh. I am not a materialistic type of girl. But I couldn't help but picture what Alaric would say if he saw me in the dress. I want to look good for him and this dress has got to go with me. I tried it on and I looked good in it. The dress fit like a glove around my torso and hips but flowed beautifully in my thighs and legs. I went out to let Margot and Molly see it, and I blushed uncontrollably as they began to whistle at me. I gave a little turn shyly and couldn't help but smile, liking the way I looked in the dress. This has got to be one of my favorite days. I couldn't wait to go home and show it off to Ricky. Before paying for the dress, I grabbed a few sets of cute lingerie in black, red, and pink. Molly had talked me into using things like this for Rick for bed, and believe me, it drives him crazy. I love the reaction he gets when he sees me in them. We were just about done, gathering our bags and walking back to the car when my eyes went wide. Leah was protesting, and getting in her car all mad, along with one of her goons. Evelyn had been the one to break my ribs last time they bested me. She took pleasure in stomping on my ribs and head when I began losing conscience. I panicked as if I had gone back in time and sunk by the car. My heart raced at 1,000,000 per second, making me shake uncontrollably. Why were they here? They couldn't be shopping. Leah was wearing sweatpants. She never wears sweatpants to go out. She always dresses to impress. Molly looked at me worriedly, and I know she was talking to me, but the panic was not letting me hear her. Goddess, don't make me go into a panic attack, not now. I thought I was rid of my old life, rid of the ones that had invested their lives torturing and ruining mine. But here I am, hiding from them yet again. Why was she so invested in making my life so miserable? Livy. Breath, okay, look at me. Molly says, bringing me out of my trance. She gestures for me to follow her moves, breath in, breath out. Again, breath in, breath out. She continues until my heartbeat slowly returns to normal. Margot can't help but look at me in concern. I hated to act this way in front of them. I was going to become Luna for goodness sake. How could I've allowed such a moment of weakness? Come on, sweetie. I think we had enough shopping for today. Let's get you home so you can rest, shall we? She says, masking her concern with a smile. I nodded, giving her an apologetic smile in return. You want to tell me what happened back there? Molly asked as we sat in the car and made our way home. Did it maybe have to do with you seeing the Luna from your ex-pack? Margot adds, making my eyes widen in surprise. I saw her getting in her car with another girl, she says, making me drop my eyesight to my hands. I stuttered, unwilling to look up. It was like I was pulled back to my old life. The mistreatment, the bullying, the hitting, everything. I spent so many sleepless nights there, begging and hoping they wouldn't barge into my home one day to beat me in the middle of the night. Leah, Luna Leah, I corrected myself. I know I shouldn't be because Alaric is a wonderful mate, but still, a part of me hated her. Skyla had rejected me and made me feel worthless when he chose her over me. And yes, Alaric is multiple times better than Alaric, and still the fact I was rejected hurt. They made my life a living hell while I was in that pack. There wasn't a day when Leah and her two goons wouldn't take joy in hurting me. Whether physical pain or emotional. They knew exactly what to do to keep my spirit and Freya at our lowest. I said, making Freya whimper. Molly and Margot looked at me with mixed emotions. They looked saddened by my reaction to the memories, but mad that I had to endure all that pain with Leah, Evelyn, and Valerie. Well, all that is in the past. Forget about them, Livy. I mean, I get it. There are things you can never forget. But it doesn't mean you let them linger so they can keep tormenting you. The past is never forgotten, and when those memories are longer, you use them as fuel. Fuel that you can use to make you strive harder, make you stronger, and braver. You were in bad condition when we found you. And I know why now. But let me tell you, she says, pointing a finger, looking at me seriously. You've come a long way in such a short time, Livy. My brother in black were right. You are strong, and you have so much potential. You just have to learn to face your fight with all you got. If the opportunity comes, you show that the real Livy we know. The strong, confident, you are, she says, making me chuckle through my tears. Yet, Margot adds, making us chuckle. I don't know why I was so vulnerable back there. Truly, I have become stronger. And I've learned to defend myself in such a short time. But I guess it was different back then. I was alone, scared for my life, with no one to back me up. But now I have a pack that I adore, friends who stand by me, and a loving mate who makes me feel like I can conquer the world by his side. When we were close to our pack, I couldn't help but feel overwhelmed, in a good way. Margot had contacted Zane and told him what had happened. Molly did the same, contacting my father-in-law and Ricky. The rest of the ride home, my father-in-law kept giving me small pep talks to cheer me up, and Ricky kept asking me if I was okay and whether I needed something. From our driver's irritation and our guards, Ricky was boarding them with questions and orders to make sure I was okay. When we were finally home, Ricky was at the entrance, already waiting for me. He was mad, I'll tell you that. He knew who had beaten me, and by the looks of him, he did not like that I had seen them again. I know it's inevitable, but I hate that they make you feel this way. Maybe it was a bad idea that I agreed to protect their pack. They don't deserve my mercy. Look how they treated you, he says, clenching his jaw, and holding me by my waist. He buries his head on the curve of my neck, sighing deeply. I should have taken the day off and gone with you. Did she try to talk to you? Did she say or do anything inappropriate? He asked, making me chuckle. No. Ricky, I'm fine. Stop worrying, okay? Like Molly and the boys already explained to you, I only saw her from afar. I doubt she even saw me. Alpha, she did try to go into her dressing room, but we managed to stop her before she could. My youngest guard, Tate explained, making Ricky's eyes darken and jaw tighten. I knew Black was agitated. I could feel him. Freya was trying to calm him down. Ricky, nothing happened. I'm fine. And you protecting them was the right thing to do. Eventually, Skylsr will have to learn to control his pack, and until then, protecting them is the right thing to do. Lushdi misbehavior shouldn't be the reason to put the rest of the pack in danger. I say, feeling him calm a little. He took me into the pack house, where more of my members were worried. They hugged me and welcomed me home. I never felt so loved as I do with them. My father-in-law and Molly had made me a warm cup of tea to calm my nerves, and after a small chat with them to assure them I was okay, I went to my room to rest. Ricky set up a hot bubble bath for me while I sorted the things I had bought. Afterward, I soaked for a while in the tub, letting the hot water soothe my muscles. Ricky stayed with me the whole time, sitting behind me in the tub, as he poured water on my back soothingly. I wasn't sure how long we were there. But I loved it. We soaked in the tub with a comfortable silence, enjoying each other's presence and in each other's arms. I always feel protected by him, and his arms have become my favorite comfort spot to be in. I couldn't possibly ask for more. Alaric, Next day, last night Livy slept like a baby. I couldn't bear to take her up for dinner. She slept through the night and woke up past 8 this morning. Whatever happened yesterday wore her out. But she's some up refreshed this morning and with so much enthusiasm to continue her training. She's gotten so good, she had topped matches with my top female warriors and even went on to sparring with Zane and a few other of my warriors. I was reluctant to let her spar with them at first, but she did great. I'm so happy for her. But I have an interaction to take care of at the Silver Moon Pack to deal with. So, I made my way out there. When we got to their perimeters, I saw Skyker had advanced a good distance rebuilding their walls like I had told him to do so. They were still busy, hauling cement bags and concrete bricks around. I made my way out there and decided the conversation could wait. I had extra jeans in the back. I took off my suit, placed on the jeans, left my undershirt on, and get to work. It must have been a good 5 hours in when we finally took a break. Skylst invited me in for a drink, which I happily obliged. We sat at his outdoor tables with a large glass of lemonade each, while we talked. His wife finally came out after a while and hugged him around his neck from his back, kissing his cheek. I could feel there was tension between them. She was always dressed up as if she was ready to go out anywhere at any time. "Hi, boys. Is dinner ready yet?" she asks, making Skyla look at her confused. "What do you mean, is dinner ready yet? Didn't you just see us get here from working? Why haven't you gone into the kitchen to make sure the Omegas are in there cooking?" he spat, making her roll her eyes irritatingly. "It was just a question, Skyla. I figured you'd know since you guys have a lemonade in hand," she spat back, making the air feel heavy. He growls, making her look angry at him. She undoes her arms from him, placing her hands on her hips. "Don't growl at me. I am not that stupid mutt, Olivia," she says, rolling her eyes and twisting her lips. Her remark toward my mate made me growl in a low tone. She looks at me, surprised by my reaction, and then looks at her husband. "I'll go see what the Omegas are cooking. Hopefully, it's almost done, because I am starving," she says, smiling, and walks away. I was ready to go back to my pack. This pack is too problematic on its own. It would be useless for me to argue with one of them. They would never see their own faults even if it hit them in the face. "So, how is Oliva, Alpha Rick? Is she giving you any trouble?" he dares to ask, making me close my eyes to calm black. If there is something he and I can't stand is having some mutt try and badmouth our mate. "She's doing well. Why do you ask?" I ask him, making him chuckle. "No particular reason. I'm just surprised you haven't sent her back. She was nothing but trouble here. She was always breaking, causing trouble in the kitchen. My mate was always stressed out with all the trouble she caused her," he says, making me withhold a growl. "Sky, dinner should be ready in 5. Alpha Rick, will you be joining us?" Luna Leah returns, with a smile. "No. My mate is waiting for me. I should get back to her," I say, joyfully. "Oh, that's right. I heard you have found your mate. How is she? When will we have the pleasure to meet her?" she asks, making Black chuckle. If only these imbeciles knew Olivia was my one and only mate. Yes, about that. Luna. My guards notified me that you tried to barge into her dressing room today. I say, making her and Skyla's eyes widen. She was embarrassed, to say the least, but he was mad. I doubt he was as heated as I was though. Me? No. Why would I? Let me make something clear to you, Luna Leah. The fact that I agreed to protect your pack does not give you the liberty to do as you please. I expect you to respect my mate and treat her as such. She is new here, and I don't want her to feel threatened by anyone, especially you. Me? She asks, feeling dumbfounded. Wait, what are you talking about? Leah, what is he implying? Nothing, okay? Alpha Rick, I think there was a misunderstanding. Please, I can assure you, I meant no harm. She adds. Skyla steps forward, holding his hand out. Look, can we talk about this? Alpha Rick, I can assure you, it has to be a misunderstanding. Leah would never. Misunderstanding or not. Alpha Skyla. I expect you to keep your mate civilized. My mate is the most important person in the world for me. And no one, and I mean no one will seek mercy if they dare to hurt her. But, Alpha. I can assure you, I meant no harm, she adds, making me clench my jaw. I would be if I let this woman near my mate and let her hurt her again. Then let's keep it that way. I have no intention of protecting a snake pit willing to hurt my mate or make her feel like she is in danger, am I making myself clear? I said, clenching my jaw and fisting my hands. So I suggest that from now on, you stay clear of my mate. Be glad she has asked me to keep protecting your pack, because if it was for me, I would be long gone. I said, standing up calmly. My guards, Beta, and warriors stand, following behind as they stand there. Luna Leah looks at us dumbfounded, as her mate, Alpha Skyla throws daggers at her with his sight. I think this is a good night to make a nice peaceful bonfire to relax with Livy once I get home. Third-person POV. The days for the two lovebirds went by peacefully for the most part. Livy was thriving with her studies, and practicing to fight. She was becoming one of the best. She was even gaining the required weight the pack doctor had asked her to since she had arrived at the pack so thin and malnourished. The pack loved being around her, they looked forward to being around her and making small talk with her. She was someone they admired, not just because she was like a celebrity to them, but because they saw her efforts. They saw each day how she tried so hard to accommodate every one of them, tending to her responsibilities and going far and beyond with her work. She was learning new things day, and the smaller kids looked up to her with loving eyes. Especially Alaric. He was madly in love with her. He thanked the goddess every night for her, kicking himself for ever thinking wrong of the moon goddess because she had taken so long in bringing Livy into his life. The wait was very much worth it, and he would do it again in a heartbeat. But the word was spreading far and wide about his new Luna, and he feared that if another altercation erupted between Alpha Skyla's pack and the Rogue King, he'd have to step in again. What if the Rogue King went after Livy, to retaliate against him, for meddling? Would he have a choice? He didn't want to put her in harm's way, but if it ever happened, his biggest fear would be if he would be able to protect her. The last he ever wants is to see her get hurt. He'd rather give his life than see her in harm's way. As they lay in bed, he softly caressed her delicate skin, listening silently as she slept in his arms. It was becoming his favorite place to be. But duty calls. He glances at the clock next to her stand and sighs, seeing the time. It was a bit past 6 in the morning. Time to get up and get ready for work. He slowly pulls his arm from under her, causing her to stir a little. He pauses, leaning in to kiss her lips, smiling as he sees her lips pull into a smirk. She was his kryptonite, indeed. If he didn't get going, he'd not be able to control himself again. Not after the little numbers she wore to bed last night. Her beautiful curves made him melt the moment he saw her in that taunting black lace lingerie. The Livy was becoming a wild woman in bed, and he was loving every minute with her. "Ricky, don't leave me," she says, waking up, and making him smile. Her arms wrap around his neck, pulling him in for a hug. He chuckles, kissing her neck where his mark was, causing her to moan softly. "I don't want to, baby. But duty calls. Come on, we need to start the day," he says, making her groan. 5 more minutes. "I'm still sore from last night," she says, causing him to chuckle. Maybe he was a bit rough last night. But suits her right for turning him on. How dare she wear such numbers and not expect him to get turned on? "If we stay 5 more minutes, I'll only end up pounding into you again. So unless you want me to spread those pretty legs of yours, we need to get ready and tend to our duties, Mrs. Danley." Those words. The sound of his last name referring to her as his wife caused showers down her spine. She loved the thought of marrying him. Surely, for humans, it would be too soon. I mean, meeting a man and sleeping with him, with the thought to be with him the very same day and wanting to marry him a few months after and having his pups. Crazy, right? But in a world of werewolves, it was called fate. She knew he was her forever, just as he knew she would always be his. She bit her bottom lip, looking lovingly into his eyes before pulling him in for a big kiss. It took them great sacrifice and effort, but they managed to get up and get ready, rather than have steamy morning X. Once showered, dressed, and ready to go, they made their way for breakfast, saying warm greetings and good mornings to everyone. Once they were done eating, she warmly kissed his lips to see him off to work. Obviously, his office was right in the pack house premises as well, but he was always overloaded with endless piles of paperwork and meetings, so she gave him his space to work while she dealt with her own duties as Luna of the Dark Moon Pack. "Olivia. Good, I find you, sweetie. Come, I need your thoughts. See, Alaric has asked me to choose a good wine for your Luna ceremony, but my mind is unsettled between 2 choices. So, you are going to help me choose today." Lucian, Livy's father-in-law, says as he lops his arm around hers and pulls her toward the elevator, and presses the last floor where the wine cellars are located. It was the first time she would visit the cellars, and she had tried to think of an excuse to visit the place to see it. Her jaw drips the moment she sees the doors open. The wine cellars were almost endless. So many different wines of all kinds, dating to more than 50 years. Lucian took pride in his collection. Surely, the two choices he had taken into consideration were of great value, not just monetary, but personal value. While his wife had still been alive, she had chosen two wines. One, for the day Molly would be married, and the other, for when Alaric would marry as well. But the fact Livy was the new Luna of his pack, had a special sentiment he could not leave unseen. This was a proud moment to cherish, and surely, the festivities had to include a wine worthy of their new member, worthy of being their new Luna. He grabs a beautiful black bottle with gold handmade engravings on the bottle. He sighs, admiring the bottle, and smiles. This was the bottle my wife and I drank on our wedding day. It was the same bottle she was drinking the day I met her. She was oblivious to my presence, as she silently cried. She had just lost her father and her mother had thrown her out of their pack, he says, with sadness in his eyes. I'd give anything to see her one last time. My life was chaos before I met her. And I wish anything to make her come back to me. I gave her my entire world, and in return, she gave me too. This bottle is precious to me, and it would be a great honor if you chose this as your choice of wine for the night, seeing you and Alaric will also be trying the knot, he says, chuckling through tears. He fought back. Livy couldn't believe he was actually considering giving her his most precious wine for the night of her ceremony and marriage. She hugs him tightly, thanking him, and crying in his arms. She had longed for so long for a hug from her dad, and Lucian was by far the closest thing to one. She felt the love of a father in him. I would be honored to serve this wine, Lucian. Thank you. Mia bella ragazza, il mio onore. Poshet voi mio figlio essere benedetti dalla nostra dea per l'eternità, he says, making her smile as a single tear rolls slowly down her cheek. My beautiful girl, it is my honor. May you and my son be blessed by our goddess for eternity. Livy, I stirred in my sleep. I knew I was caught in a dream, but it didn't matter how hard I tried to wake up, I couldn't do it. I couldn't wake up. In my dream, I was stuck in a paradox. I replayed the day of the attack when my mom died and my brother was attacked. In a few scenarios, my brother died as well. In others, he vanished and I was left all alone. I sat crying in the middle of the overgrown field, alone. Slowly, I could hear the stirring of the grass as the stench of a rogue nears me. I can't describe it. Each pack member has its own scent, but you can somehow tell when it's a rogue. They smell different. More animalistic, wild, and tainted. Just like a human would if he bathed, but didn't have the luxury to own adequate hygienic supplies. The last dream I had was the worst. Ricky and I lay on a picnic blanket with a tray of fruit and wine glasses next to us. We laughed, as I lay on my back and he lays beside me, caressing my hair. He leans down from time to kiss me on my lips. Suddenly, we are attacked, and we are surrounded by wolves. Ricky and I shift onto Black and Freya, and we begin to fight with them, ripping the heads of many of them as we fight for our lives. But as the fight breaks off, a massive grey wolf with fiery eyes emerges, and he knocks me unconscious. When I awake, Ricky is gone, and no traces left of him other than a trail of blood. That image plays again and again in my dream, tormenting me. I cry and scream, looking for him frantically from one corner to the other, but no matter how hard I try to find him, I can't. Not until I run and come to a small river. Ricky's body lies lifeless by the river. I run, gripping his trailed lifeless body, and scream. Please, Ricky. Please, wake up. Don't leave me. Please. I yell, begging for him to come back to me. Yet nothing. Alaric, I woke up to Livy whimpering in her sleep. She gripped the pillow to her body, clinging tightly to it as if for dear life. It worried me. She's been having nightmares for the past 2 days, but she doesn't want to talk about them. Livy. Livy, baby, wake up. I say as I shake her lightly and caress her hair softly away from her face. Ricky. Please, don't leave me, she whispers, crying. She was crying actual tears. I have no clue what she was dreaming, but it worried me. Baby, I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere, I promise. Ricky, Ricky, she yells suddenly waking up and jolting up. Livy. Livy, it's okay, sweetheart. I'm right here. I say, and she looks at me with horror on her face before she begins to cry. Her arms wrap tightly around my neck, and she sobs in my arms. Ricky. I had a really bad nightmare. You. Ricky, please. Promise me, you'll never leave me. Please, promise me, she pleads, tightening her hold around my neck. Baby, it was just a nightmare. It's okay, relax. I'm right here, everything is okay now. I'm fine, okay? SSHHH, relax sweetheart. Relax. I say as I rock her softly, hugging her and running my hand up and down her back soothingly. Promise me. Promise me you'll never leave, she repeats. I don't understand what is happening, and I'm not sure if she wants to talk about it, but I want to make her feel better. It kills me to see her like this. It hurts really bad to see her this way, it hurts. I hold her tightly, and kiss the top of her head, sighing deeply. I promise. I promise I will never leave you, baby. I will never leave you. I whisper as she continues to cry. Little by little, she begins to relax. Her sobbing calms to silent hiccups and sniffles. But she refuses to let go until I finally get her to lie down next to me. I run my hand over her back, soothing her softly. By the time she's relaxed, I get her to finally talk to me. When she comes to the part of the wolf who attacks me, my heart drops. I doubt she has ever seen the Rogue King, but she described his wood perfectly. How could this be? Would he dare to attack me again? I know he and I have butted heads in the past, but we have both stopped before any of us truly get hurt. Would he take action next time and keep his word to attack me next time I impede his attack toward the Silver Moon Pack? The question still lingers in thought. Why does he want to attack this pack? They are already vulnerable as it is. Is his hatred toward Morrison this severe? What did Morrison do to earn such hatred from that guy? I am so frustrated. I have so much to deal with in my own pack, and trying to help Dad and Alpha Landon with this investigation of Morrison. Now I have to watch my back and make sure he doesn't go back on his word. What if he tries to attack my pack? I know they are more than ready to defend themselves, but we have so many elders and kids that are vulnerable as well. After a while, I managed to get Livy back to sleep. But I'm left sleepless the rest of the night, lost in thought. Black can't seem to relax as well. He feels how agitated our maid is. He can't help but worry about her. I stare silently at the moon and stars, hoping I can always protect her. If it came to that point, I'd rather die than see her get hurt. The Rogue King is someone no one wants to mess with. He's never been the kind to joke when he makes a threat. And he's already warned me once. Next time, there might be more than bloodshed. Let's just hope there isn't any life lost on either end. Livy, I really like this one, what do you think, Ricky? I say as I look at the invitations going out tomorrow morning for the Luna ceremony. It was short notice. Our Luna ceremonies within packs are not as big as they would be when the boys turn to alphas. But yet, Ricky had decided to go all out for me. In the beginning, we were only inviting Molly's pack, the Primords, and 2 other packs to which we were allied. The Crescent Moon and the Blood Moon pack, but now Ricky is thinking of inviting 3 other packs, which include my old pack, the Silver Moon pack. Did I want them to come? Not really. But Ricky thought it was a good idea since we might make them an allied pack. If they can get there together. Believe me, I do feel bad for them. They gave such small numbers, but, hey, at least the place hasn't burnt down with Skyla in command. Ricky was busy at his desk, talking with Zane and going over some papers. He glances up and smiles. He gestures to Zane, and gets up, joining me at the table where I had the invitations laid out. They were all so beautiful. Very elegant material was used, in gold, blush, and tan colors, ranging from simple designs with little detail, to others that were pretty extravagant. My favorite was this pink blush and gold flowered one. The letters were engraved in pretty cursive and swirl designs. Even the envelopes were pretty. We had a printing shop within our pack, so it was good that we gave the business to one of our locals. That one looks great, sweetheart. Why don't you pick a matching color to the wax? They'll be sealing the envelopes as well. Oh, and don't forget, Margot is waiting for you to go and look at the fabric for the tables. I think last time you had picked 2 different fabrics, but she wants to make sure they brought the right ones, he says, placing his hand on the back of my waist. The tingles from his touch make me feel excited. I don't think I can ever get used to it. It feels heavenly. I was excited when he said the fabric was here. Everything was already set. The Luna ceremony was only 4 more days, but time was going by so fast. Oh, awesome! How about you chose a wax for me? I'll go meet Margot now. I suggested, making him smile. I kissed his lips and made my way out to the dining room. Margot was already there, with 2 giant rolls of fabric. The bottom layer of the tables was a blush pink, while the one on top was a laced fabric in gold. It had beautiful details, but it fits just perfectly with the theme. She had set up one table so I could see how it would look. All the girls that were working in the kitchen today were in awe at the sight. The table included the table covers in blush pink and gold, dinner plates in white with gold around the rim, gold utensils, and the centerpiece was a huge bouquet of pink roses of all shades towering high in the center of the table, along with tinier bouquets on the top of the table around the main centerpiece. I was in awe at how good it had come out. But I can't take full credit, Molly was the one who helped me choose the right centerpieces. And she helped so much with all of my decisions. I don't think I could have pulled all of this off if I didn't have help from her and Margot. I was unsure of the things we chose first because the whole look was more like a wedding theme, but, well, technically Ricky and I will be tying the knot the same day, so I guess it was more than okay. So, I spent the rest of my afternoon tending to my duties and helping the girls in the kitchen for dinner. They would be really busy tomorrow and in the days coming as the wedding and my ceremony neared us. Alaric, the morning came, and the invitations went out. One by one they were hand-delivered to their destination. When it was time for Skyla and Leah's invitation to be delivered, I chose to hand-deliver it to them. I knew something was off about Skyla, I felt it the day I took Livy away from this pack. It was as if he was overthinking his decision. I saw it in his eyes, he was fighting his wolf. It was as if he was trying to hold back from allowing Livy to leave. I drove on my own, with only Zane beside me in the passenger's seat. I had my guards around Skyla's territory anyway, so if anything happens, they know to go into action. I stopped at their gate, and the guy I'm me do open his gate. My boys waved as we drove in. I didn't want to seem so flashy by bringing an expensive car to their territory, so I made my way toward the pack house, in my Aston Martin Vulcan, and placed it on drive. Leah's face lit up of course, and her mouth gawked open wide as I got off my car, followed by my bears, Zane. Alpha. That is a beautiful car, she chimes, running her fingers on the shiny black paint. Thank you. Maybe your husband could take you for a ride once you attend my wedding in 4 days. Her smile grew wider, gasping as I handed her the invitation. She glanced at the invitation, with admiration that soon changed to a face of greed. I could tell she was envious. A woman like her only looks for her wealth and well-being. I have seen this from the way she treats her pack and her alpha. She has no respect for either one. Is your husband home? I ask her, making her look up from the invitation. Why, yes. He's out back, fixing the broken rose bushes. Broken? Yes, Alpha Noah had a fit last night, because he didn't like the roast. He demanded our omegas to cook and took it out on the roses, she says, rolling her eyes. I sigh, making my way to the back of their house, followed by Leah. Alpha Alaric. Good to see. To what do I owe this surprise? I thought you weren't coming until next week, he says, as we shake hands. Well, yes, but I wanted to come and personally invite you to my wedding. It will also be the night I will be presenting my Pax Luna. I hope you and your wife can make it. I say, making him smile. I will be honored. We will be there. Of course, you can expect us there days before. The wedding is in 4 days, Sky. We have to arrange accommodations to go days before, right? Leah adds, making him clench his jaw. No. It's fine, we can drive the day of. He doesn't live that far, Leah, we'll be fine going to and for the same day, he adds, making her scoff as she folds her hands over her chest. My bets, Zane snickered silently. He always thinks it's amusing how they fight in front of everyone. But I personally dislike all this. I have yet to argue with Livy, and I hope that our first one is minimal. But I need to make sure to shop for a good gift. Besides, they have good stores near his territory, Sky. We have to, no, Leah. I don't want to inconvenience them. Really? It's no big deal. I think it will be a good idea if you went early. I can ask my Luna to see that you have proper accommodations. I said, making her face light up, happily. It's not necessary, Alpha. Alpha Skyla says. It's no trouble, really, I added, making her clap happily, bouncing in joy. Good, we can start packing tonight and leave tomorrow morning. No, Skyla says, pausing to close his eyes and take a deep breath. Look. We'll leave a day before, okay? The ceremony is in 4 days, you said. Right? We can leave the day before, and maybe leave the day after. Would that be okay with you, Alpha? He asks, and I nod once, agreeing with them. Good. Then it's settled, we'll leave a day before and that's it, Leah, he says, making her fold her arms. She wasn't too happy with his decision, but I think she held back out of embarrassment from me and Zane being present. She was a woman too invested in her covetousness, and she wasn't too discreet in caring if the rest of us saw it through her. I'm not going to lie, I was having second thoughts about inviting them. But I hope it's for the best. I would hate to turn my back on the pack that gave me my loving Luna and mate. Livy, the day of the ceremony was nearing us in just 1 day. I was so nervous just thinking about it, and to make matters worse, Ricky just told me that he invited my old pack. I guess I was okay with it, I mean they can't harm me anymore, right? Ricky wouldn't allow it, and besides, I'm strong enough now. I can fend for myself if needed to. But, I have been preparing their rooms for their arrival, and I need to do it quickly because I promised the girls that I would show them how to make the Alfredo sauce from scratch. I wanted everyone to eat something a bit more healthy, besides all the meat that wolves consume, so I also added pasta Alfredo to the menu, but with a vegan sauce made of cashews. It's mouth-watering, and it just so happens to be Leah and Skyla's favorite. Now, I'm not making it because of them, but because it was my mom's favorite also, and somehow it will make me feel happy if I make it. It'll feel as if they were still here with me, I guess. In some way. I made my way to the last room, Leah and Skyla's. The girls had already made the bed and arranged flowers and the welcome baskets for all of the other alphas and their guests. We had made plenty of other rooms available for them if needed as well. But it was too much for the girls to do alone, so Margot and I helped as well. Molly was in the dining room, making sure everything went according to plan, and since the kitchen was busy preparing for tonight, Ricky arranged for catering outside for our pack and guests arriving. Margot and I had partnered up. She arranged the flowers while I did the bed. Then we fixed the shower with the necessary toiletry and fresh towels for the shower. Then we added the welcome basket, with the thank you sign to their attendants. After, the girls were eager for me to show them how to make the sauce, so I made my way and did the sauce for them. They enjoyed making it, and were amazed that it came out so well. When they were done, we decided to take a break from it all. I excused the girls and decided to finish cleaning what was left, which was nothing, but the kitchen counters were still a bit messy. There were fingerprints all over, and it makes me uncomfortable seeing them, so I began wiping them down. I was almost finished when Ricky came in, and pulled me by the waist. "Livy, what are you doing? This is your day, you shouldn't be cleaning," he says, making me chuckle. He plants a kiss on my lips, hugging me tightly. "I know, it's just. The girls have so much to do, I just wanted to lend a hand," I said, making him nod in disbelief, smiling brightly at me. "I get it, but no more. Come on. It's your day, so I have a surprise for you," he says, pulling me out of the kitchen. There was a group of Omega girls in our room. They were waiting for me to give me a full massage and help me to get ready for the evening. "Ricky, this isn't necessary, I can get ready on my own," I say, feeling bad that he was doing so much for me. "Nope. As I said, it's your day. Enjoy it. In a few hours, you will officially become my wife and Luna of this pack. You need to be fully relaxed and ready. Girls, she's all yours, take care of her, will you?" One of the Omegas pulls me by the arm with a huge smile on her face. "Come on, Luna. Let us pamper you. We'll start with a massage, then a facial, we'll do your nails, hair, everything. By the end, you'll feel so relaxed, you'll think you're floating in thin air," she says, making me chuckle. "Okay. Fine. But with one condition," I say, making them look at each other. "What is that?" she responds. "When you're doing my nails and doing facials, I want all of you to get one as well." "Got it." The girl's eyes lit up, and smiled from ear to ear. "Really? Really? I want all of you to look your best for tonight." "Okay," I demanded, making them nod happily. I don't know why Ricky has to be so charming all the time, but it's driving me wild for the man. I am so in love with him. And I can't wait to walk down that aisle with him. "Leah, we finally made it to the Dark Moon Pack's territory. I was glad I convinced Sky to buy a new car a few months ago. But, I was still looking forward on taking Alpha Alaric's offer and driving his car. God, that car was a dream. We came up to these giant gates that read Danley Farms. It was odd, but okay. I guess they were trying to mask their territory for something industrial. I was glad we were finally here, because I needed to pee so freaking bad." Of course, Evelyn had tagged AL0NG. I tried to ditch her, but she was too astute for her own good. She clinged onto me like a leech, and sat in our back seat waiting for us to get there. As we made it into their territory, massive black and dark grey wolves ran beside our car. Boys being boys, Skyla stepped on it, laughing away and racing with them. They were veloce, passing the car in a flash. Skyla was easily going at about 90 an hour, and these guys kept up like nothing. "These guys are fast," Evelyn chimed. I knew where she was getting at. She was going to see if she could get one of those boys into her bed tonight. I gagged inwardly, rolling my eyes. But she was right, they were so fast and it looked unfazed. They didn't seem to get tired, running beside the car. But to my luck, we still drove for about 20 minutes into their territory until we finally got to the pack house. My eyes went wide in shock as I see a massive house. This can't be real. This is their pack house? I ask, Sky, as I see the place was almost 10 times, if not more, bigger than our pack house. Is this a pack house, or a resort? Because if it is, sign me up. This is my next vacation spot, she says, making me agree as I nod, looking up and around the place. Hey, you guys made it. Please, come in. Beta Zane says as he comes to greet us. Skyla shakes hands with him, and they start talking as if they were dear friends. Soon, the rest of our cars arrive, and I scold my was to hurry and take things down. Come on, I'll take you guys to where our alpha is right now. I hope you guys haven't eaten. We have catering on the back while the ceremony begins. You guys like cold sandwiches, or got food? He asks as more omegas from their pack come running and help my omegas. Even their members looked better. Why do our omegas look scrawny and malnourished, while theirs look tough and shit? They were as good looking and well dressed as Evelyn. And she was one of my best fighters. We made our way into their pack house, and my mouth was wide. I think my eyes were about to pop out as I see the place. It was huge. And so freaking fancy. Way fancier than ours. They have a library in here. I say, gasping. Beta Zane chuckles, and nods, yes, ma'am. All of our members are required to pass the school at the top of their class, so we encourage them by providing all the requirements right inside our premises. But, we also treat them, by making sure they have fun. To the left, you'll see the game and theater room. To this right, we have ping pongs, billiards, foosball, and more. This is the baby care section, he says as we pass by a high room with babies and toddlers being looked after by ladies. I think I was lost in heaven. This place was dreamy. After a small tour of the area, we took a peek at the dining room. The place was so beautiful and elegant. I think I was jealous of their Luna. She was being treated like a royal. Something I deserved too, but my husband was becoming a cheapskate. We finally made it out of the pack house and to this huge outdoor sitting area. My mouth gawked open again, as I see lounge chairs and lazy boy chairs displaying beautifully around bonfires. They had this massive screen playing an outdoor movie where teens sat on lounge chairs, watching the movie. To the left, there were numerous tables set up with food and drinks. Alpha Rick sat at a table with a girl with dark dirty blonde hair and wearing a pretty blue dress that flowed beautifully. This had to be their Luna. They chuckled and talked with the rest of the people at their table. I need to make sure I made a good impression on them, especially her. Alpha Sky. Good to finally see you. Please, join us, he says as he gestures to two empty seats. Luna, I'm so glad to finally meet you. Thank you so much for inviting us to your ceremony. I am thrilled to take part in this special day for you. I say, smiling from ear to ear as I grab her hand and shake it. She has pretty hazel eyes and her makeup is meticulous. She chuckles, looking at Alpha Rick and Zane. I'm thrilled to have you guys here, Luna Morrison. But, I'm afraid you have a misunderstanding. I'm not the Luna Danley. My name is Margot, and I'm mated to our Pax Beta, Zane, she says, making me feel stupid. Oh. I am so sorry. I thought you were. It's okay. I'll take it as a compliment. Our Luna is beautiful, so I guess you thought I was beautiful, she says, making me smile. She was nice. I like her. But I still felt awkward about making such a big mistake. So, when can we meet your new Luna, Alpha Alaric? I finally asked after a while. My stomach was ready to pop. I had eaten so much and drank so much, that I even forgot I needed to pee. She will make her appearance until the ceremony. I sent her to get pampered for her big day. She's probably getting her facial right now, he says, chuckling. Oh, I would love to get pampered. I haven't been to a salon in weeks. I say, groaning. Leah. Skyla says, trying to scold me in a whisper yell. What? I whisper yelled back, but Alpha Alaric chuckles, nodding his head. Well, if you stick around a few days, I'm sure my Luna can arrange a spa day for you and your husband. I'll ask her to set something up for you, he says, making me squeal with joy. Oh, me too, Evelyn adds, making Alaric smile. I rolled my eyes and nodded in disbelief. Did she really think she can have the same pampering as Luna? Who does she think she is? She was no longer at my level. And I need to make sure she knows soon. More alphas began to arrive with their mates and a handful of their members, mostly their betas with their mates and a few guards. We mingled for a while until we were escorted to our rooms. They had set us up on the 3rd floor. We could see everything from up here. It looked like we were at a mountaintop. They had a huge basket of goodies, to which Evelyn complained because hers didn't, of course, but I scolded her, telling her obviously, the baskets were only for the alphas and their mates. I kicked her out of our room and they showed her to her room a floor down. After we rested for a bit, we finally got ready. I took my time doing my hair and makeup and helped Skyla with his tie because he was helpless when it came to tying his tie. Then we made our way to the ceremony. My nerves were crazy. I was so eager to see their Luna. Finally, I will get to meet her. We were seated at the front just feet away from where huge spiral staircases were located. It was where she was going to make her way into the room. It had huge double doors, adorned with flowers and roses in all shades of pink, making it look so gorgeous. Then the doors opened, and my hair began to pump so fast, making me feel jittery. Alpha Rick was right by the door. He held his hand out with a huge smile on his face, and honestly, I think he was ready to cry. It looked so romantic, that I couldn't help but smile. Then I see the hand, delicate skin reached out with a fresh manicure. She grabs his hand and takes a step toward him. Her silhouette was the same as I saw that day at the fitting room. But this time, I would finally see the face of the lucky girl. Another step, and then another until she is right beside him as he kisses her hand and then wraps his other hand around her waist and lands a kiss on her lips. And then my mouth gawks openly. I'm in shock as I see none other than Olivia. I whisper, unbelieved by what I am seeing. I look at Skyla and he is just as shocked as I am. I can see his veins engorged on his forehead and neck. His hands fisted so hard, he shakes. And then I feel numb. Everyone begins to cheer, shooting for their Luna as she slowly makes her way down those steps, holding tightly onto Alpha Alaric's hand. Evelyn adds, making me feel all kinds of anger inside. Why? Why her? Out of so many she-wolves in this whole world. Why her? We sent her here to be treated like their slave. But, Luna? She's their Luna? I wanted to cry so badly, but I held my posture. She held her head high and walked with grace, I admit it. She looked so good. The black body-length dress fit her perfectly, hugging her curves and flowing down her legs beautifully. I hate her, I freaking hate her. She is so lucky. All this is hers. All this luxury, all this wealth, and this pack. It's hers. It's so not fair. Not fair at all. Livy, I was a nervous wreck as I came up those long spiral steps leading to the dining room. I stood behind the doors where I knew Ricky was waiting for me. So nervous, I almost tripped and fell on my face. Had it not been for my guard, Tate, who acted quickly and held his hand out so I wouldn't fall, I think I would have eaten it. "Are you okay, Luna?" he asks, concerned as he holds my arm. I couldn't help it. I started laughing, making him concerned. "I'm fine, Tate. Let's do this, shall we?" I say with a smile, fixing my dress skirt and sighing deeply. "Let's do this, Luna." "Ready?" he asks as he holds the doorknob, along with one other teen guard, and I nod, shaking my body a little to take some of the jitters away. The doors open, and the scenery gets the best of me, making me feel so happy and overwhelmed. I can see everyone from where I am. Everyone looks amazing, all dressed up with their best and looking sharp. But not as amazing as Ricky does. His icy blue eyes piercing, making me feel as if I was in the clouds. His face lights up as he sees me, and extends his hand out to me. I hesitate for a second as I take in the sight of my pack looking so sharp before holding my hand out and taking a few steps to take a hold of Ricky's hand. He takes my hand, placing a delicate kiss on my knuckles, instantly filling me with the feeling of ecstasy. The sparks that his touch caused in my skin are electrifyingly incredible. "You look beautiful, baby," he says, mind-linking me. "Thank you, Ricky. You look amazingly handsome as well," I say, making him chuckle. He pulls me by the waist and lands a kiss on my lips. "I love you," I whisper, and he smiles, whispering back, "I love you more." I'm nervous, I admit, through our mind link, forgetting that he and I have our mind linked to everyone in our pack, and I can hear a few snickers, chuckling away. "She is so cute. You got this, Luna. We're here for you." I can hear many cheering me on through our mind link, and now I feel like crying. Ricky smiles brighter, cupping my face and kissing my lips. "You will do wonderful, baby. I am so proud of you," he says, whispering in my ear, causing a shiver down my spine. "Let's do this," he says, holding my hand as we begin walking down the steps. Everyone can't help but burst out in cheers. They hoot, whistle, and clap as we make our way down. But I can't help but feel a bit of discomfort as I see the new so-called leaders of my old pack, Skyla and Leah, sitting at a front row table, next to the alpha from the Crescent Moon pack. Leah looks like she is ready to turn green and cry, but Skyla, if looks could kill, I would already be dead. I guess it's his fault. He rejected me. And I have no remorse. He made me a favor, rejecting me. Otherwise, I would not be part of this amazing pack that has shown me so much love, and I would have never met the love of my life, Ricky. I love and adore him with my life and soul. We make it down and the elders are already there, waiting on us. Luna Olivia Watson, it is a great honor to welcome you into this pack and make you the official line of the Dark Moon Wolf Pack. Are you ready to make an oath to serve and protect this pack? My father-in-law, Lucian says with a big smile on his face. I am, I reply, making him smile brighter. He takes my hand and we walk to get her to the middle of the room where there is a big dancing platform. He commences the ritual along with the elders as they make me repeat their oath. I, Olivia Watson, soon to be Olivia Danley, daughter of Rebecca and Colton Watson, hereby proclaim my life, love, honor, and fidelity to the Dark Moon Pack. As their Luna, I swear to be faithful to the elders, faithful to my alpha, and faithful to my pack. Everyone is quiet, listening diligently as I continue. It is a long oath, but so worth it. As I continue, Ricky grabs my hand, slicing a small gash in the middle of my palm, and does the same to his. We join hands, making an oath to each other as we become one with each other and I become one with the pack. I can feel them, their happiness, their strength, all of their feelings of overjoyed for me and Ricky. I will honor my ancestors, honor my goddess, speak the truth, respect nature, defend myself and others, fight for justice, and stand my ground. I will never strive far from the truth, and will never break my oath. I continue, but this far in. Even I am crying as I see many choked up. I feel the pain they felt before, when they had first lost their Luna. She was truly loved, and true, I have big shoes to fill. But I am up to do my best. I will honor my title, and promise to never break, protecting our weak, and making our strongest stronger. I Luna Danley, hereby promise my oath to our moon goddess, our ancestors, and those to come. I will strive to do better than my best. Everyone cheers as I finish, and after I finish my Luna ritual, Ricky and I finish our vows. Now, I know you're wondering. Why a black dress instead of white for a wedding? Well, black is my way of standing my ground. I will not allow anyone to break me again. And it is a symbol of my new beginning. A beginning I intend to honor and take very seriously. My days of being a punching bag and a pushover are far behind. I will not let anyone push me or hurt my pack. Not today, not tomorrow, or ever. Ricky places my ring and I place his. We went for our own vows, and believe me when I say, we both made each other cry. Behind the strong demeanor is an amazing man who I love. He is the sweetest man I have ever known. I sometimes wake up hoping it's not just a dream. As the elders bless us in unity, I feel our mating bond stronger than ever before, and the tingles in my body multiply as he reaches to cup my face and he places a kiss on my lips as soon as the elder tells him to. It is my great honor to present to you, Alpha and Luna Danley, leaders of the Dark Moon Pack, he says, and everyone erupts in cheer, standing on their feet as they clap, whistle, and cheer. My heart is overjoyed and I can't help but smile from ear to ear as I start receiving hugs from my girls in our pack. Nothing. But I mean nothing can ruin this night. I intend on making this a memorable night for Ricky and me. Third person POV. But little did Livy know, a tiny asterisk was snooping around. The tiniest of drones replicated a fruit fly recording the entire ceremony. The sound was terrible, but the picture was just perfect. And that was all that the Rogue King needed to see what their new Luna looked like. He could see her, very vaguely, but a clear picture indeed. He smiles, nodding his head. He was up to something, and Ricky was not going to be happy with it. But neither will he when he finds out who Livy really is.